So in the previous video, we saw how we can set up the auth for the WebSocket application. Now let's first create a endpoint. So we will have app.get get JWT, and this would be request comma response, and here would have, and this of course this needs to be protected. So we will have const auth token, which would be request dot header dot authorization, request dot headers dot authorization. Okay, and if there's we'll have some empty string. All right. So the purpose of this is basically whenever we are requesting the JWT, we will store a secret in our next application, not in the front end, but in the back end. So you remember I told every time the app runs. So let me quickly. So every time the app runs, we will create a JWT on demand, and this would be, issued by the server, which would be sitting behind this front end. So it will request a JWT from the WebSocket backend. So again, this should be a secure call because otherwise anyone would be able to request it. All right. So let me close this up. And now what we will get is we will get this auth token from the headers, and we will just check. So let's go to .env and let's create one more file, which would be JWT auth key, something like that. Again, some random gibberish string. Okay. And let's quickly copy this out. And of course, it doesn't have to be like this. Better bearer auth mechanism, but just to simplify things and to show you how this all will end-to-end work, I'm keeping it like this. Okay, it should be even more secure than this. Otherwise, I mean, yeah, this doesn't make anyone who is having this token can easily make a request. So it should be even more secure. But anyways, this is not about security. This is more about WebSocket thing. So that's why I'm doing it like this. All right. So if this is the case, then we will just, if it is equal, that means response.status200.json, and token would be get JWT. Okay. Let's return response.status 401.json. Message would be unauthenticated user, something like that. It could be anything again. Okay. So this is what we want to do. So let's quickly check it out. Let me create a request client, request.http, and let me make a get call. So HTTP localhost, I think it is 4000. Okay. And we need to listen also. So we will do app.listen. Let's have a port at the top, response port equal to 4000. And let's keep it like this. And let's have port, and then we will have a callback. So console.log listening on port, and this would be capital. So listening on port 4000. So let's have 4000, and then we have the route name as get JWT. Okay. And let's first send a request without any authentication. So it says unauthenticated user. All right. And if I set a header as authorization with the same secret key that I just created here and paste it like this, and then send a request, so then I get my token. Okay. And of course it will expire in 1 minute. So we will later on change this 1 minute to 1 hour. Okay. We get to start to do update refresh time to 1 hour. Now we are ready to write our WebSocket code. But before that, we have a problem of unique IDs. So let's keep it like this. So basically this will generate unique ID. Okay. So what I will do is I'll create a generator function. Of course, this is not a very good idea to, use in production. So I'll keep it like this, and I'll use yield functionality of JavaScript. So while true, yield idx plus, okay. And then and it will call the next function, and then it will call that value. And how it may, so and paste the same code. Okay. So you can see that each time it is, incrementing the value and generating IDs. Of course, this is not a very good idea when you are keeping your app in production. For those cases, always use something like UUID or nano ID. But just for the sake of simplicity, I've added this. Okay. And now we can write our first WebSocket endpoint. So let's write it. And I think you don't need to keep it like this. Then enough to inject home, and then we will have and request, and then so now let's quickly so we get the request URL. Of course, we cannot get the params like the way we get in normal HTTP requests. That is something. And in case if anyone knows a better way, just let me know down in the comments. But what I will be doing here is const password equal to basically request.url.split, and I will split on equal to sign, and I will take the second element, but since indexing starts with 1, so it will be first. Okay. Now, the reason for this is, I mean, this is very unstable, guys. You need to know that, let's say, if there are multiple parameters, then this guy would get totally confused. And that is why it is very important, to know all those limitations. But just for this particular use case, because we don't want to, I mean, make a production ready code right now. We just want to explore and see how we can use WebSockets, and do all these kind of integrations. I'm keeping it like this. Okay. So let's quickly have it like this, and then we will have, which would be basically this. Okay. So this is it, and let's go and see. Okay, I've already embedded this JWT here, so I think it should be good enough. So yeah, it is listening. Let me just kill it and restart it so that we have it from the beginning. So yarn dev, and I think, okay, I need to remove this up. Let me clear it once again, and then let's go here, refresh the page. Here there is a host, and okay, I think it triggered twice, so let me reload it. So here there is a host, and this time it is like this. Hey, there is a host, not here there is a host. Okay. Anyways, so we get the URL. We are not concerned about the URL, so let's just remove it for now, and let's just see the password part. So let's reload this guy. So it says why, which is weird because hmm, password equal to, okay, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So let's see what it is. So request.url.split equal to, and hmm, let's just go step by step. So let's have this param, and let's quickly log it. Console log param equal to param. Okay, and now let's refresh this guy. The param equal to, we have this holy moly string. Okay, so the first one is this, right? Okay. I got it. What error we were making. So basically, this is the, we are just capturing the first one. So this is exactly the password, and we don't need to do. If we were not using this indexing here, then we could have done it like that. So let's say if it was like this, and then let's say, you know, this. So these are two equivalent states. So now it should give me right output. You can see that, this time it's just giving me the password. Okay. Anyways, so we got the password. Now what we want to do is verify. So it's verified equal to JWT verify, I think, validate JWT. And here we have this password. Okay. So we will check if uh, verified result. Okay. So we will do a if check if verified result dot is client valid, and verified result dot is session expired, and actually it should be not, because session should be alive. And if both of these are true, then we will do verified, then we will just write console.log welcome client. Okay, something like that, just to see how it is working. Else if verified result dot is session expired, if the session has expired, so here we will close the connection. So here we need to do close the connection and store the data, store the previous record. Okay. So that's how we will do it. And of course, for that, we should have a record object also. So maybe here, let's have const user records equal to like this. Okay. So store the record. We will see it in some time. For now, just let's console log expired session and closing connection. And here we will do ws dot close maybe. Okay. And else we will just do console log invalid client, and then we will straightly just close the connection. Okay, so that's it. Now let's quickly try to refresh this. So we say expired session and closing connection because we have 1 minute timer. So let's quickly generate a fresh get id, and we will do a console log of this console.log. Okay, so not get id, I think get jwt. So we got a fresh new token. Let's put it in the front end, and you know what, let's have this token equal to this, and then here we will do a string injection. Select this whole thing, token. Okay, so now let's see how it behaves. Welcome client. Okay, so we see welcome client now, and yeah, I mean, now we will be using this id, the unique id, to pass it to and fro. So we will, so what we will do is welcome client. After that welcome client, we will just do uh, payload, or let's just keep it as message, and then we can just do a string. So json dot stringify id is get id. Okay, so this would be basically the unique id. for that particular user. And let's quickly have it here. So instead of creating it like this, now what we can do is, so I hope until this point everything is clear. We are generating the tokens, and now we have created this whole thing. So basically, if the token is valid, then we are welcoming the client. If it is not valid, then we are closing the connection. And if I mean, if it has expired, then we would be saving the data and then closing the connection. And if it is not none of those cases, then we are directly closing the connection. Okay, so in the next video we will see how we can receive these messages and send it to and fro using the front end client. Until then, see you. Thank you very much.